Have you ever stopped to think about the rice sitting on your plate? It's such a familiar food, isn't it? Comforting, versatile, and a staple in so many meals across the world. For many of us, especially those of us over 60, rice is more than just food. It's a tradition, a memory of family dinners, or maybe just the go-to side dish that's always there. But what if I told you that the way most of us cook and eat rice could quietly be working against our health? It's a surprising thought, I know, but stick with me. This isn't about fear or taking away something you love. It's about hope, empowerment, and taking control of your health in simple, practical ways. Today, I'm thrilled to share 5 rice hacks, small, science-backed changes you can make to turn rice from a potential blood sugar saboteur into a gut-healing, sugar-stabilizing, life-giving food. These aren't complicated tricks requiring fancy gadgets or expensive supplements. They're easy adjustments to your everyday routine that can make a real difference, especially as we age. I've spent years working in senior health, and I've seen too many folks diligently take their medications, follow all the standard advice, and still struggle with rising blood sugar, stubborn weight, or digestive discomfort. That's when I realized we often overlook the simplest things right in front of us, like how we prepare something as basic as rice. So, let's dive into these 5 rice hacks that can transform your meals and your health. Before we start, I'd love to hear from you. Do you or someone you love eat rice almost every day? Have you ever felt bloated, tired, or just off after a meal and chalked it up to aging? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm all ears. And if you're excited for more practical, clear tips like these, hit that subscribe button and join our Health 365 family. Let's get started with the first hack, one that's so simple yet so powerful it can change how your body absorbs nutrients with just a little extra time. Let's talk about soaking your rice. I know, it sounds almost too basic, right? You might be thinking, I've been rinsing and cooking rice my whole life. Why mess with a good thing? But here's the surprising truth. Skipping this one small step could mean your body isn't getting the nutrients it needs, especially as we get older. Rice, whether it's white, brown, or any other variety, contains something called phytic acid. It's a natural compound found in the outer layers of the grain, and while it's not inherently bad, it can act like a little thief in your digestive system. Phytic acid binds to essential minerals like calcium, zinc, and iron, making it harder for your body to absorb them. For those of us over 60, when bone health, energy levels, and immunity can already be a challenge, this matters more than you might think. Low absorption of these minerals can contribute to issues like bone thinning, fatigue, or a weaker immune system. But here's the good news: soaking your rice can significantly reduce phytic acid, unlocking those vital nutrients and making them more available to your body. Plus, there's another big benefit. Soaking makes rice easier to digest. I've worked with so many seniors who complain about bloating, gas, or feeling overly full after meals. Often, they don't connect it to rice, but once they start soaking it, they notice a difference. Meals feel lighter, digestion feels smoother, and that heavy, sluggish feeling starts to fade. So, how do you do it right? It's simple. After rinsing your rice thoroughly under cool water to remove excess starch, place it in a bowl and cover it with warm water. Let it soak for 30 to 60 minutes before cooking. This gives the grains time to soften, absorb moisture, and break down those tough compounds that can irritate your gut. If you're pressed for time, even 30 minutes helps, but try not to soak for more than 3 hours, especially in warm weather, to avoid bacterial growth that could spoil the rice. I remember a 72-year-old woman I worked with, active, vibrant, but struggling with a sensitive stomach. She started soaking her rice, and within weeks, her post-meal discomfort nearly vanished. She called it her small miracle. And I love that because it captures how something so easy can have such a big impact. No pills, no special tools, just water, time, and a little intention. The reward: better digestion, improved nutrient absorption, and more energy after meals. If you've never tried this, give it a go and let me know how it feels. Or, if you're already soaking your rice, share in the comments how it's helped you. Now, if you think that was simple, wait until you hear what a single spoonful of vinegar can do for your blood sugar. This next hack is one of the most unexpected and powerful tricks you can try: adding a little vinegar to your rice. I know, it might sound strange at first. Vinegar in rice, won't that make it taste weird? But trust me, this small addition can make a world of difference for your blood sugar, digestion, and energy levels. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Vinegar, particularly natural apple cider vinegar, contains acetic acid, a compound that slows down how quickly your body breaks down and absorbs carbohydrates. This means your blood sugar doesn't spike as sharply after a meal, which is especially important for those of us over 60 when our bodies can become more sensitive to sugar fluctuations. If you're managing pre-diabetes, type 2 diabetes, or just want to avoid that post-meal energy crash, this hack could be a game changer. A study from Johns Hopkins University found that adding vinegar to rice can lower its glycemic index by up to 31%. That's a massive drop, turning a food that might cause a sharp sugar spike into something much gentler and more balanced. I once worked with a kind man in his late 60s, pre-diabetic and frustrated by feeling sluggish after meals. He started adding just 1 tablespoon of natural apple cider vinegar to the water when cooking his rice. Within a couple of months, his fasting blood sugar stabilized, and he felt lighter and more energized. The best part: it's so easy to do. When you're adding water to your rice cooker or pot, just mix in 1 tablespoon of natural, fermented vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is a great choice. Don't worry, the rice won't taste sour. In fact, many people say it tastes cleaner or fresher. Just make sure you're using natural, fermented vinegar, not the synthetic or flavored kinds, which don't offer the same benefits and might irritate a sensitive stomach. If you're new to this, or have a sensitive gut, start with half a tablespoon and see how your body responds. This is such a simple habit, yet its impact can be profound over time. It's not about restriction or medication. It's about giving your body a natural boost. And now, let's move on to something even more surprising: how a tiny bit of oatmeal can transform your rice into a heart-healthy, blood sugar stabilizing powerhouse. This next tip is a clever little secret that most people have never considered: mixing a small amount of oatmeal into your rice. Yes, oatmeal. The same stuff you might eat for breakfast. You probably already know it's good for your heart, cholesterol, and digestion. But what's fascinating is how just a tiny bit mixed with rice can dramatically improve how your body processes sugar and even support your blood vessels over time. Oatmeal contains a type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan, which acts like a gentle sponge in your digestive system. It moves through your gut, soaking up bad cholesterol, slowing digestion, and preventing blood sugar from spiking too quickly after a meal. For seniors dealing with high cholesterol, pre-diabetes, or blood pressure issues, this kind of support is incredibly valuable. A study from the National Institutes of Health found that mixing just a small amount of oatmeal into rice can slow the rise in blood sugar by up to 43%. That's a huge leap toward stability and long-term health. The key is getting the amount right, what I call the golden ratio. For every cup of rice, about 150 grams mix in just 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of plain dry oatmeal. That's roughly 5 to 7% of the total volume, enough to deliver the benefits without overwhelming your digestion. Why not add more? Well, while oatmeal is healthy, too much can cause bloating, gas, or a heavy feeling, especially for older adults. Gentle balance is the goal here. A small amount each day provides just the right dose of soluble fiber to support smoother digestion, better cholesterol control, and steadier energy. I worked with a woman in her mid-70s who was managing high cholesterol and early signs of diabetes. She started mixing a teaspoon of oatmeal into her daily rice, and after 3 months, her lab results improved significantly. More importantly, she felt clearer, lighter, and more confident in her daily life. One quick note: if you have kidney issues, check with your doctor before increasing fiber or whole grains, as everyone's body is unique. This small change is so easy to adopt, and it's a beautiful way to make your rice work harder for your health. Now, let's talk about a golden spice that's been used for centuries and can help improve your insulin sensitivity in a completely natural way. This next hack brings a little color and a lot of healing power to your plate: turmeric. You've probably heard of turmeric in curries or teas, but did you know that just a small pinch in your rice can help your body respond better to insulin and reduce inflammation? The magic lies in turmeric's active compound, curcumin, which has been studied for its antioxidant and anti-inflammatory benefits. One of its most exciting effects is how it improves insulin sensitivity, helping your body use insulin more effectively, like sharpening a dull key to fit the lock again. As we age, many of us develop insulin resistance, where the body doesn't respond well to insulin, leading to higher blood sugar, fatigue, weight gain, and sometimes more serious issues. Research from the National Institutes of Health found that consistent curcumin intake over time can reduce insulin resistance by up to 23%, a result comparable to some mild diabetes medications. I worked with a woman in her late 60s, managing type 2 diabetes for years. After talking with her doctor, she started adding a small pinch of turmeric powder to her warm rice once a day. Within a few months, her blood sugar readings became more stable, and she even reduced her medication dosage. Her smile said it all. To try this at home, it's incredibly simple. After your rice is cooked and still warm, sprinkle 1 to 2 small pinches of pure turmeric powder over it and stir gently. The warmth helps release the spice's natural oils and aroma, blending beautifully with the rice. Start small, especially if you're not used to the flavor, and adjust as your palate gets comfortable. Make sure you're using pure turmeric powder, not curry powder, which often includes salt and other spices that may not offer the same benefits and could upset your stomach in large amounts. If you have gallbladder issues or take certain medications, check with your healthcare provider before adding turmeric regularly, just to be safe. This small, colorful habit connects you to centuries of natural healing wisdom, and its effects can be profound over time. Now, let's move to our final tip. One that's so simple it doesn't require adding anything at all, just a change in how you handle your rice after cooking. This last hack is one of the most surprising and effective: cooling and reheating your rice. Yes, that's it. No special ingredients, no supplements, just letting your rice cool after cooking, and then gently warming it up again before eating. It sounds almost too simple, but the science behind it is incredible. When you cook rice and let it cool, the starch in the grains transforms into something called resistant starch. Unlike regular starch, which digests quickly and turns into sugar in your bloodstream, resistant starch resists digestion in the small intestine. Instead, it travels to your large intestine, where it becomes food for your gut's good bacteria. This supports better digestion, reduces inflammation, and strengthens immunity. It also helps lower post-meal blood sugar spikes, promotes bowel regularity, and improves insulin sensitivity. For seniors dealing with blood sugar issues, gut discomfort, or constipation, this can bring significant relief. I worked with a man in his 70s who struggled with constipation and irritable bowel issues for years. Medications helped a little, but nothing brought true comfort until he started cooling his rice after cooking and reheating it before meals. Within weeks, his digestion improved dramatically. He felt lighter, more regular, and finally at ease. To do this, cook your rice as usual, then leave the lid off and let it sit at room temperature for 30 minutes to an hour. You can eat it then, or store it in the fridge and reheat it gently later that day or the next. When reheating, warm it just until hot. Don't overcook it or leave it out too long, especially in warm weather, to avoid bacterial growth. Refrigerate promptly and enjoy within 1 to 2 days. This simple change can turn your rice into one of the most nourishing foods on your plate, supporting gut health, blood sugar control, and a sense of balance that so many of us crave as we age. Now, let's take a moment to bring it all together. These 5 rice hacks: soaking your rice, adding a touch of vinegar, mixing in a bit of oatmeal, sprinkling turmeric, and cooling before reheating, may seem small, but their impact is anything but. Each one works in its own gentle way to support your blood sugar, digestion, and long-term vitality. The beauty of these tips is that they don't require you to overhaul your life or give up the foods you love. They're about making small, intentional changes to something you're already eating. And here's the truth: it's never too late to start. You don't have to do all 5 at once. Pick one that feels doable and see how your body responds. Over time, these small steps can lead to big changes. I've seen these hacks help so many seniors feel better, move easier, and regain control over their meals and health. You deserve that too. If this has sparked a new idea or inspired you to try something different, give it a like. It really helps us keep sharing tips like these. And if you want to stay on this journey with us, tap subscribe to join the Senior Envision family. We're here with practical, science-based advice that fits your life. Have any of these rice hacks surprised you? Have you tried one before, or is there something holding you back? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. You've got this.